welcome to another episode of the Inside Life and Godliness channel. My name is Naram Ihoma, and here we talk on faith and lifestyle. So, people of God, quick update before I delve into the subject matter for today. I remember that in the very first video I uploaded, I spoke about my location, and I told you guys that I'm all around town, not bound by one region. So today you might see me in Lagos, Nigeria. Next tomorrow, I'm on the flight to the UK. Another day, I'm on the flight to Canada. So as of now, I am currently in the capital city of Cross River State. And the name I wanted to say in the person of Calabar, but I'm in Calabar, and I'll be spending 1 year in Calabar for my medical internship. How has my experience been so far? First of all, before I entered into this land, it was terrible. In sense that the roads are bad. The roads leading up to Calabar is bad. Oh my Father and my Lord. I almost got killed twice. Literally. I came from Owerri to Calabar. I spent about 6 hours plus. I came from Anambra to Calabar. I spent about 10 hours, 30 minutes on the road. No exaggeration. I got into the house at 11:30 p.m. So I don't know what they're doing about the roads. And for the roads to be that bad, and then the cost of living here is high, I don't really understand the mathematics. It's not adding up. Cost of living here is really high. Like, everybody wants to charge you, and I don't understand it, but okay. So that has been my experience here. I'm trusting God for a smoother experience, smoother sailing, and learning experience in general to favor me. So that's it. Today we're delving into the topic of God's mercy. I know that whenever it comes to God's benevolence and God's providence, we're always active towards it. When you hear, let us begin to pray for God's mercy, we're usually like, oh my God, let's pray for mercy over my family. Oh, beautiful. It's beautiful to pray for God's mercy. And it's beautiful for us to see God's mercy and God's loving kindness in action. And so today we want to discuss about it and bring a little twist to this. Alright, let's go on this journey now. I remember one time someone started a thread on Twitter concerning the experiences that they've had with children and them killing themselves, because we know that little humans just want to kill themselves. And this person started this thread. A lot of people kept on commenting on the thread. I followed the thread. I was just laughing. The person started by narrating his own story of how his neighbor's son got a manual blender that they had used to grind pepper. It was a little boy. And then he put his private part in the manual blender. Whether he wanted to blend his private part, I don't know. But they struggled to bring it out. Another person came and spoke of how when he was a younger child, or when he was a small child, he used to battle with rams for Muslim celebrations. I'm like the guy goes head to head with rams. Why is it that children are always trying to kill themselves? Of course, that person is of a considerable young age, but even the little ones, like 2 years, 3 years old, one said they drank kerosene, another person said they tried to put something in their eyes and in their nose. Why are children, it's almost like an effort. They put in the effort. The effort is that today I just want to see how death looks like. That thing is very funny. And as a gentle child that I was and I am, and as a sweet child that I was and I still am, I can't relate to all this because I was a peaceful child. Just give me tea, let me drink. I'm calm, no stress, no struggle. But then I remember my neighbor's son. I was very much younger. We had watched a movie. I think it was Spider-Man. I can't really remember, but we had watched one action movie. And he decided that he wanted to try out what the superhero did in that movie. So he climbed upstairs. They were living in a one-story building. He climbed upstairs. I remember vividly because I can still picture him positioning himself on the rail of the staircase. And then he flew from the first story downstairs. All I know is that we did not see him for like 1 week, and the next time we saw him, his cheeks were swollen because I don't know what happened, how the fall occurred, but it was battered. Children are constantly trying to kill themselves. And to be very honest, this is a graphic representation of what we look like when we decide to do things on our own outside of God. God has told us, I will never leave you nor forsake you. God has told you, come unto me, all you that are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. God has told you to depend on him. God has told you, call unto me and I will answer you. But when we choose to depend on our own strength, when we choose to run our race, when we choose to walk in our view of progress and success, then we look like children that are plotting to kill themselves. And you know the funny thing, these children don't know that they are plotting to kill themselves. They even look very happy doing it. Have you seen a child licking Vaseline before, or finishing the toothpaste? They are looking at this child angrily and the child is laughing, licking it. Or when they are messing up a place with all the powder or all the SME gold that you bought for them that is quite expensive now in the market, they'll be laughing and be pouring the SME gold. If I flog your buttocks, come on, will you drop that? That's how we look when we're trying to chase success, and when we're trying to chase work, and when we're trying to chase things without the leading of God, or without the intervention of God, or without bringing God into the picture. And this is why God is merciful, this is why God is kind, and this is why God is good. I'm amazed at how God does his things, because he sees you trying to do these things on your own, and he sees you trying to work these things on your own. And as long as you've identified as his child, he makes sure that he does everything within his mercy and within his love and within his kindness to bring you back to depend on him. You see, God's mercy is as a result of his love. So everything that God does is out of love. God is love. His nature is love. There cannot be evil in him. There cannot be wickedness in him, because all he protrudes, all he exudes, all he brings out is love. Now, when God is dealing with us, we must understand that God is love and God knows everything. God sees everything. Why am I saying this? Because the world has sold us a twisted version of love. The world has sold us a perverted version of love. Nollywood alongside Hollywood, especially K-drama. I don't know what they call Korean wood, but K-drama and Bollywood have sold us a kind of love that is not realistic, a kind of love that just involves we getting pats on the back, a kind of love that just requires us getting romantic kisses and just pats and smells, no rebukes, no sternness, no warning, just a sweet mushy mushy kind of love where you'll be feeling butterflies in your belly all the days of your life. But that's not love if that is the only thing that is found in that love. We forget that true love is built on pain, perspiration, and blood. Sweat and blood. True love is not always mushy. True love is not always complimentary or celebratory. Sometimes true love requires stretching you. Sometimes true love requires you going through pain. As long as at the end of that process, growth is acquired. As long as at the end of that process, there's something beautiful that comes out of it. And that is one thing about God. You might go through the process in the beginning, but there's an end goal. God always looks at the end goal. He knows what he wants to bring out of you. And so out of his love, out of his mercy, out of his benevolence for you, he will pass you through that. You'll be weeping. He will tell you, depend on me. Cry and depend on me. At the end of the day, you will find out that something has been built. That is what love is about. Check everybody. I know that we all love relationship talks. If you listen to people that do relationship talks and you listen to people who have been solid in marriages and relationship, they tell you of how the rough patches that they had to go through, the challenges that they had to go through, the intentionality that had to go into their love, that now makes it look as though they are the best couple after 13 years or after 20 years, because true love has come out of that relationship. True love with pain, true love with vulnerability, true love with deals and deals of struggles and hurdles. that they had to pass through. The good thing about this love is that at the end of the day, convictions are deepened. The love is strengthened. And the love is not like that seed that fell in the rocky areas and then germinated very fast. And when the sun came out and scorched it, it died because it had no roots. Because of the processes passed through, your roots are now deepened. You are solid, you are firm, and you are strong in convictions. So, if God is love and out of his love comes his mercies, then him passing you through certain processes is an act of his mercy, because he knows that if he does not pass you through those processes for you to get to the end of yourself, you might end up killing yourself by yourself, like that little child. So God's mercy is not only when you're safe from death. The same mercy that saved you from death is the same mercy that would detach you from those people that have promised you help, and then you are only depending on them and not depending on God. It is the same mercy that is working out for you to be detached from them, so that your gaze can be shifted from men to the Lord. Trust in the Lord in all your ways and lean not on your own understanding. It is the same mercy of God that will deprive you of so many of your wants, that you begin to learn contentment and providence, and how that it comes from God and God alone. It is the same mercy of God that will walk things and turn things, so that if you have decided to build confidence in those things, and if you have decided to build security in those things and to be independent of God, he will work it out in such a way that all those things will be withdrawn from you, and you have no other means. You have no other choice but to depend on him alone. It is the same mercy that worked in the life of Jacob and gave him another name, Israel, that still came along the way and dislocated his hip bone, so much so that he had no confidence in himself except in God. Did you see Joseph in his old age? I was like, wow, what God can do in the life of a man. The mercies of God, evident, new every morning, beautiful. They do not come the conventional way that we expect them to come. One of the things that we must work out in our lives in this modern day Christianity is that we don't reduce the effect of spiritual blessings into material manifestations. So that we don't only think that God's mercy is only evident when they give you money, or when they dash you money, or when they are sacking people in your workplace and they did not sack you. That is one part of it. But even in the difficult situations, even in the tough situations, God's mercies are evident. God's mercies are playing out. God's mercies, they are new every morning. They are new every morning. The same mercy that reached out to Apostle Paul when he was healing the sick, God used Apostle Paul mightily. Through handkerchiefs and aprons, healings occurred as a result of the Lord's mercies that reached out to humanity, his loving kindness, his compassion. It is the same mercy that came to Apostle Paul and told him that in his infirmity, God's grace has been made sufficient even for his weakness. God's mercies will open our eyes to knowing that outside of him, we can do nothing of our own. God's mercies and kindness work in such ways that we are truly dependent on him and him alone. And so he will go all lengths in his benevolence, in his kindness, in his compassion, in his loving kindness, just to make sure that we truly rely on him. God's mercy reaches out to all of mankind. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've been blessed. If you've been blessed by this episode, like, share, subscribe. Tell the algorithm that other people need to watch this video and be blessed as well. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye. One of the things that we must That's what.